So for motion capture, so what I realized, right, is motion capture is cheaper to mocap and then clean up the animations than keyframe at this scale, and especially the speed at which you do things. And the thing is, like, for example, I have an example here, like let's say like we were doing a session where it's like, look, the cop is knocking out the player, right? And when we do actors, it will inform a lot of decisions about it has to look good from the top down. Maybe you could move this way, maybe you could this, and then I know the personality of each character, and we can see in real time the performance. And once the performance is done, we have all the nuances of the performance. You know, the way he's rotating his face, the way like his head pendles at the end, the way the shoulder shakes, and keyframing this is very time consuming. So yeah, so we had a mocap studio that was really big. On the mocap studio, we did an outline of this is the bathroom. Like there's the full outline. Like this is the bedroom. Like here it's the door between the two rooms.
That's really cool.
So for example, when the cop is searching the apartment, right, we could get an actor going from he would walk, he would just say, okay, you got into the room, you're looking around, and he would look around, and I could direct him. I could say, look, you have to go a bit slower because we know the player is in the closet, he's going to be seeing you do this, so maybe do a little pause here, look on the side here. We could play around with the performance live and get 5-6 takes, and then we know that's going to be the one that works in the game. And it's really fast, right? You have this actor that's doing all this work of the performance, and you get like a lot of that straight into the game. So like here's an example of like, actually before that, so the actor, like all this is remote. Like I love a lot being remote. Like I was in San Francisco, this studio was in Seattle. So right, like this is, the actor would see my little face here, he would see his performance from top down. Then on the other end, we would have someone who was right coordinating the effort. Like so he was guiding the session where he would actually load the 3D model of the world into a screen, and so I could like sometimes I would see it like this.
Wow! Oh my gosh, your process is amazing. I actually had no idea you did it like this.
Yeah, and it was fun. Like we would be like we would be figuring out how how quickly do you handcuff. And for example, we were handcuffing and we're like, oh, actually, and I don't know if people will notice this, but when you get handcuffed in the game, at the start he struggles a lot. Second time he's like, we were like, let's get a little narrative on all these actions. So by the 5th time you get handcuffed, he just throws himself on the floor, and the cop is like, huh? Like, why are you not resisting getting handcuffed? So right, we would do these experiments, and then I guess the parallel to this would be there would be very detailed documents. Like this is the old wife model about everything. Like because when the wife falls on the ground, this position has to be a perfect position, 0.5 meters. That will then transition to the position of trying to get up, or the position of being suffocated. So yeah, we would do these animations, and then they would be let me have a couple more here. Like for example, when the wife says hi, yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say, you say all this was done remotely. Is this because of the pandemic? Would you?
Oh no. So it's funny, when the pandemic came, it didn't change anything.
Okay.
I was
It's
like,
already how
okay.
you were working.
Exactly. It didn't affect
Okay.
any of the pipeline. I mean, it affected people emotionally, but pipeline-wise, there was no. And this is the amazing part of it, because I was home. Like I was literally home with, like this window. Like there was the session on one screen. There was they were seeing my face. I had this document open saying, okay, now we're recording. Get on knees. And if I had a doubt, right, I could literally like alt tab to the game world. Look at the limitations I have. I alt tab back into the window, right? And they have, like, you can see, like, when the wife says hi, right, they're half a meter from each other, and she's like sitting down. Like, depending on where you are in the world, she will greet you differently. So if you actually sit down, she will sit down to kiss you. And right, we could do these tests. See different ideas of how she can kiss you from this position, different attitudes, so it looks more or less fake. And I could see the game world in real time, which was which was great. I mean, I loved it. It really allowed to, on a very short budget. That's the other thing. Like, it was a very small budget for the game. We don't have many shots at this. We have one shot at getting this going. Look, here's another one. Like the one we were seeing, the cop punching you, and then throwing you on the ground.
Nice. I have two
So cool seeing
questions.
this side by side. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, somebody in chat asked if was this some mocap studio that you rented out or that Annapurna helped furnish or?
Oh no, so this was pretty lucky. So when I was at Rockstar Games, the lead animator, CJ Markham, he used to work in movies. He worked in King Kong and other films, and we became good friends. And then when I was looking, like I was saying, at GDC for mocap, and I was like, I don't think I'll do mocap because I know zero about this, like zero. And I run into him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just started my own mocap studio, and we're slowly growing." I'm like, "Really?" And we're looking for indie developers. I'm like, "Really?" And then I told
So
him,
lucky.
"Look, yeah, let's work together. But listen, I know the costs, and I know zero about mocap." And he said, "Oh, good." So he just guided me through all the process, like all the things we need to think about, how to look at mocap, like the performance and all the casting process. So this was just like, so I started the mocap before I worked with Annapurna. Like the game would have mocap no matter what, but we went from maybe 3 to 4 sessions to 10 or 12 sessions because there were more resources to use.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool. I guess somebody said it's good to know people. Yeah. I mean, that's all of like your development.
Life. I mean, I think even in life, like I think even knowing your neighbors when you wanna, when you're out of town and you want someone to check your, like, I think networking is crucial for ideas, for creative, but for game development, yeah, for sure. Like the actors, then knowing the different studios, the different, I don't know, yeah, it's networking is so important. It's
Yeah, I talk about this all the time at a smaller scale, especially when we're doing game jams for students and stuff. And like, what's the biggest advice? I'm like, learn to work with all the people, those strangers you meet at game jams, because you'd be surprised how often I interview studios who have made it big, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I met my director when I was doing a game jam in university," or it was always stories like that.